I want to talk about, briefly, I want to talk about Descartes' sixth meditation, um, mostly about the mind-body dualism that comes from him, from his sixth meditation. Um, a dualism is a philosophy that's going to say that the mind and the body are separate. It's a somewhat of a thing it's actually a philosophy of substance in metaphysics is really what it is. It's really just a philosophy of substance in metaphysics. Um, you know, that's kind of where you get materialism and physicalism and that kind of thing. Monism is when there's just one substance. It's one substance in everything, in the whole world, in the person, everything. It's just one substance. A dualism of Descartes. Many actually say that Descartes crippled or ruined philosophy with his dualism. And if you're a monist, that could very well be what you say. And then a dualism says that there's the body, which is the substance that we have here. A body can occupy a space. You can't have two bodies that are in the same spot. There's matter. Stuff like that. And while it's mind, it's like a spirit kind of thing, but he doesn't really call it a spirit, I don't think. But it's not substance like this book is a substance. It's not like that. It's more. It's more. It's very separate. He kind of separates them apart. Like if you read East Asian philosophy and particularly Neo-Confucianism, you will hear Qi monism or Chi monism. Like it varies. It varies from philosophers like Hua Dam, Zhang Zai, Chushi, Twege, Yulgok, Kobong, all these people. But they're all like Neo-Confucians. But they have various thoughts about Li and Qi and the four sprouts or the four beginnings and the seven emotions, all this stuff. The Qi or Ki, depending on the translation between Korean or Chinese, is material force. It's like how, in Chinese medicine, the Qi or the Ki can be blocked up, which is cause of like a medical ailment, I apologize. I'm taking a East Asian philosophy right now, where my teacher is actually having a focus around Korean Neo-Confucianism and Buddhism. Philosophy, of course, not so much the religious part, but the philosophy part. So yeah, essentially, like that Qi monism or that Chi monism, there's still kind of a mind-body kind of thing, but they're together in this one thing, and all that stuff. But then, in that monism, the mind and body are together. But then if you have like contemporary analytic philosophy, where there's monism, it's not two things really, but it's one thing. And there's no. All we are really is walking bags of meat or whatever. and there's no real spirit in here. Anyway, so Descartes separates the two. The mind and the body are totally separate. He also says a mind cannot be sensed, and yet a body can. For one thing, I disagree with that. I think that if I'm looking at, let's say you are looking at me and you're looking at this book, you can tell that there's a mind in here and there's not a mind in here. I mean, there are minds in here because of all this good stuff in here, of course, but I mean, saying that there's no spirit, there's no, like, cognitive processes going on in here, but there is in here. So I disagree with that, but there's just a separatedness, and the body is matter and it occupies space. That sort of thing. So that we have this separatedness. I mean, and it's also like that thing where if the body dies, it doesn't necessarily mean that the mind dies. It's just a separatedness. Yeah, what I need to do is I need to find the thing that I wrote in today. What I need to find. I don't know if I can find it. Okay, here we go. A mind thinks, a body doesn't. Yeah, like I said, a body excludes all bodies. Body has shape and occupies space. Mind doesn't. Body can be sensed. Mind cannot. Body can be moved, but not by itself. A mind has the power of self-motion. Body can be divided. A mind cannot. So, I guess myself personally, I would put myself on the dualism side of things. However, I do not agree with Descartes at all, really. I do not agree with him in the way he I guess entirely separates the two. He doesn't entirely separate them, but he just separates them so much that a mind cannot be sensed and yet a body can. That's just separation. I think that there are two substances too, but it's in the same spot though. It's not my body is here, and that my spirit is over, or my spirit or mind is over here. It's not like that. So I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on that. That there is two substances. I mean, I totally agree with him on that, but I don't like the separatedness. I guess my thoughts are within the realms of phenomenology and applied deconstruction, so I would place myself on the dualist side of things, but in no way would I separate the two, because I think they're, until I die, I'm still going to be, my mind will be in the same spot, Then once I die, I think I will probably, my mind will go somewhere else. Yeah, let me know your thoughts.